Terrell here, back again with another review. This time for Goodbye, Don Cleese, the new animated movie put out by Gkids, written and directed by Atsuko Ishizuka, who also did No Game New Life. If you're familiar with that anime series, very, 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 very good. This time, we have a new feature film that features three. This is about the life of three boys, and this particular summer, as they decide to go on one final adventure of their club. And this is Roma, Hitsuko, and Drop are the three characters in the story. I gotta say, just kind of coming into this, this was a very, very relatable story, especially dealing with something that deals with growing up and letting certain things go and holding on to friendships and just kind of living in the moment. A lot of stuff that you kind of just really don't even realize or you take for granted when you were a kid. Just certain friendships that you have, and you know putting your thoughts or needs above before of your friends before yourself. I thought this is a real tearjerker of a movie for men, for boys, for everybody. I think this is very well set up. This thing is, like I said, it's very, very relatable in the sense of kind of just growing up and being having certain friends and like I said, living in those memories. And this particular story follows Shuta, Roma, who is still trying to figure out what he wants to do with life. And you have his one of his friends that wants to be a doctor, and he's kind of grown beyond the childish games and the hideouts and stuff like that they have. And the Goodbye, the Don Cleese is the name of the club that they have, that they had when they were in grade school, and now they're going into high school. So you go into high school now, you have to kind of reinvent yourself, or you feel like you got to grow up and go beyond certain things. And Roma is not willing to let those things go, because this is kind of at this point all he has, because he feels like he's kind of destined to become a farmer with his dad. It's kind of, you clearly see that's not what he wants to do. And then we also get the character of Shuta, who like I said, is trying to become a doctor. Toto trying to become a doctor, and instead of him just coming out to say, let his friend know that he's willing to move on, he doesn't want to hurt his feelings. And I know a lot of people have friends that they don't necessarily want to tell them that they want to deviate from something or want to do something that's different, that they feel like they might hurt their feelings. Then you have the character of Drop here, who's kind of the wild card here. He's kind of living in the moment. He wants to take everything for it is, and they let you know right up front in this movie, and I believe the trailers as well, that right like the first 2 minutes, that one of these characters is winds up dying. And when you were a kid, you don't think about stuff like that. You don't really think about whether or not your friend's going to die. You kind of take time for granted as a kid. I feel like that's also what this movie is talking about a lot of, is how we don't really appreciate the relationships and the time that we're given while we have it. And you have this character of Drop that's completely living in the moment. He's just taking it as it is and showing them, look, there's more in life than being worried about certain things. And you can kind of apply that to your adult life too. Like certain things that you do in life is not always that serious. Sometimes you got to stop what you're doing to really enjoy your life. Like whether you got today or tomorrow to be here, you don't know. You really want to appreciate what you have. And this movie does a really good job of not only visually showing that, but like the story like alone is just amazing. I feel like I was really engaged in these characters, and kind of what they were talking about in this town. Keep in mind, this is also a small town too, right? So like this is like one of those hick towns where you go across the pond. This is not a big city, but this is also based in Japan. And the character of Drop is he's supposedly kind of been around the world. He came from Iceland, and he's seen stuff, so he just wants to be able to enjoy what his moment with his three friends here at this moment. um like I said, just a lot of like the music in this anime. I always feel like I talk about music, right? The music really hits on a lot of like the emotional beats in this movie too, and really brings out a lot of the sadness and a lot of the disappointment some of the characters have, or some of the routes that they want to take. Like I said, music is obviously a big character in this movie, and like I said, you definitely gonna, if you see this in the theater, it's definitely gonna be one of those things to stand out for you. Also, visually, I feel like the visuals were on point. A lot of the scenes where they're just kind of looking at the sky, or like long shots of just the scenery, and like the stars and stuff were really amazing. Just imagine like seeing this like an IMAX or something like that. How good this is gonna look. And like I said, and just a lot of the animation, nothing completely new with the animation as far as like character design. But I definitely feels like it definitely fits that story. And voice acting aside, Japanese, American, I could definitely tell. I could definitely feel the emotion for sure, in this movie from the voice actors that played the roles of these three characters. Now, one of the things that I did notice is there's not a really big, not a lot of voice, not a lot of different characters in the story, because like I said, it's really focused on this particular journey and this adventure of these three characters who have to go find this treasure, have to go find the treasure, and us out in wherever it is, they have to go find it, and they find it as a group. But I feel like just kind of the story itself of the movie is them figuring out themselves and figuring out their relationship with each other, and how to kind of compromise and learn to accept what's things are moving on, things are changing, and being happy for your friends as these changes go, and just kind of being able to make a decision about where you want your life to go. And it's very relatable, especially being a young man or even an adult now, or just anybody in general, where if you feel like you're just kind of stuck in life, and if you're in a town like this, or just anywhere where you just need to figure out what you want to do in life, and sometimes it takes something serious to happen to really get you to move on. And I think that's another point that this is making. Sometimes to get you out of your comfort zone, or to inspire you to do something that you want to do, something serious, or a push needs to happen for you to jump into what you really want to do. Like I said, I really enjoyed this movie from start to finish. So many different points. I mean, this is definitely I got to say a must buy for me. Like if I had to own it, like this is something that I would put on. Like it's a lot of animes out there. Like I feel like I'm tearing up right now, but like it's a lot of animes right now. Like that just really, like, you really feel for the characters. You really you really get a lot of depth into what is going on. And I think like when they really hit those moments, you might as well bring out the Kleenex. You might as well just go ahead and bring your little pocket squares and your tissues with you to the movies, because this is definitely going to be the movie that I think it's going to squeeze some genuine emotion out of you. Goodbye, Don Cleese. Definitely, I wasn't sure what it was going to be going into it. Watching the trailers, and it kind of it kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy 15 a little bit, and how that journey of those four characters, like you're going around and you're following the perspective of those four characters. They go around the world, and of course they're saving the world, yada yada yada. But you're getting more insight into those characters, and I feel like this movie does a really good job of giving you a lot of that information, within the hour, 30 minutes or so, within the movie, and giving you a little bit of the surrounding world that's around that as well. Like I said, Gkids, they stay putting out these good movies. This is really well directed, very well written. Something that I would definitely watch again. I would highly recommend going to the movies to see this. Very good pick. Like I said, if I'm not sure if it's going to have a English track, but Japanese, check it out. Either one. This is worth a at home buy. I would highly recommend this to anybody that wants to see a good animated film this year. Goodbye, Don Cleese. Check it out. I give it a 5 out of 5 if I'm being honest. Check it out. Theaters comes out September 14th. Go check it out.